This is maybe the 29th or the 80th annual This is the Year of HDTV. I'm not going to talk about the NTSC press bridge because I did that yesterday, but I will mention we're still shooting and protecting for 4 to 3, even though Nielsen says that 86% of U.S. households have HDTVs, and Leichtman says 59% of all TVs, even your kitchen TV in your household, not your living room TV, are HDTV. So why are we still shooting and protecting for 4 to 3? I mentioned this is the 80th year, and you might be wondering why I say 80th year. Well, here is a report on high-definition television that was issued in 1935. All of these slides are already available on the app, by the way. But here's another indication that we might not yet be at This is the Year of HDTV. This is from NAB this past year. It's the Eutelsat booth, and this is what they're proudly proclaiming, that they're broadcasting more than 5,000 TV channels, of which 500 are in high definition. And I give you a hint, the other 4,500 are not UHD. And then news this Monday that Russia's commercial network NTV is just starting to experiment with HD. So we've been talking about shift, but are things new businesses or are they real shifts? Those old-timers of you in the room, Leon noted there were many old-timers, might remember the Pet Rock, which came out in 1975, was sufficiently popular that it made Gary Dahl a millionaire for introducing it. But was that a shift or was it simply a successful new business? Well, it did not shift the pets world. People still get puppies and kittens. And going to a higher tech version was not successful. That's the USB Pet Rock. But we've definitely had some shifts in the industry, shift from tape to file, shift from linear to nonlinear editing, from film to digital cinematography and digital cinema. What about broadcasting? Well, here's a headline that appeared, "Broadcasting is dead, long live digital choice." And we've seen lots and lots of headlines. This particular one appeared in March 1997. So that was a little while ago. Here are more recent headlines. These are all from the past year. CBS with high profits, NBC doing things up to 2032, Fox with record increase in ad revenue. But there is a little shift going on. I often give you a link to Nielsen. It's just easier to Google Nielsen Total Audience Report. You can download it. It's free. They just ask for some information about you, but they never bother you with it. If we add up the TV watching plus DVR TV watching plus people watching TV shows online, then in the third quarter of 2014, it was 166 hours and 21 minutes per month. And if we did that last year, then it was 166 hours and 54 minutes per month. So there is a little shift. It should be 33 minutes per month. But that is, I feel, quite significant because it's never gone down before. It's always gone up. This is the first year it's gone down. So we are seeing a little bit of a shift. Here are some other figures from the Nielsen report on the left. Households that have internet, 81%, broadband internet, 78%, and the plus 1% is what the change was from the previous year. And then broadband-only households, 3%, and a huge change, up 112%. With the redefinition of broadband by the FCC, that figure might change a little bit. And then down at the bottom, we see that people are cutting cords, but worldwide pay TV is increasing, and the latest available figures from CEA, 99% of households have TVs, internet 78%. Neither of those percentages changed in the last year. And it's not just a U.S. phenomenon. Here is something from the British Ofcom, the Office of Communications, and this is their communications market report for 2014. And again, see that top line there? That's internet access. So they have it being 79%, that's computers, 79%, but very, very little change from previous years. So let's put all those three together. They're A little different, 81%, 79%, 78%, but one way or the other, about 20% of your potential audience is not going to watch anything that's online. I think that's a pretty significant thing to consider. Obviously, big differences between generations. So this is from Millward Brown Digital. Their report is called Getting Audiences Right. Again, you just have to fill out something and they'll give you the full report. They, however, did call me after I filled the stuff out. But they said, no problem if you don't want to deal with anything. So millennials obviously dealing more with smartphones than boomers are. Boomers dealing more with TV than millennials are. But notice that the millennials' use of smartphones and their watching of TV sets is identical. So millennials are still watching TV. And another finding, smartphone usage across all three generations falls tremendously when the task increases beyond 5 minutes. So maybe significant for TV watching. Here's a story from Rapid TV News. CBS, Netflix is taking a big toll on TV. And again, emphasize the word big. Okay, but then we look at the rest of the story and it says Netflix is beginning to eat into TV time. And then if you look a little further, it's they're eating into linear TV time and maybe not as much or not into delayed TV time. And then here's another story saying that Deloitte says, the Netflix impact is exaggerated. And this doesn't look like it has anything to do with anything, the sorry state of in-flight Wi-Fi, but I think it is significant. This was a story appeared in the New York Times recently, and they're saying in-flight Wi-Fi really sucks. Why does it suck? Because people are using it. So here's the guy says, internet speeds have gone down because of growing demand. When we started in 2006, there was no iPhone and tablets didn't really exist. Now that people are using it, it sucks. So something to consider for internet-delivered television. And then this is another thing to consider. Over a third of the Dutch use illegal VOD and get their programs that way. A couple of CES items that I don't think Pete will talk about later. The Intel Smart Dress. Not sure what those spikes coming off the shoulders are for. And then the Grush, which is a way of having an online toothbrush that tells you, oh, your kid hasn't brushed yet. But what was the big news this year from NAB, IBC, and CES? It was 4K. And this picture that I'm showing you is not a 4K TV. It's an HD TV. It's my sister-in-law's new TV that she did a tremendous amount of research on before she bought, read Consumer Reports and everything. I helped her hook it up. It happens to be a stereoscopic 3D TV. She had no idea it was. She had no interest whatsoever in getting an S3D TV, but that's what the TV was. It met all of her other requirements. So when you are hearing about sales of 4K TVs and how many consumers have bought 4K TVs, they may not be aware that they were 4K TVs. A little bit more about 4K at the top, very, very difficult to read. It's a little tiny Toshiba 4K camera, the world's smallest 4K camera they talk about, and it offers up to 1,600 TV lines of resolution. But that's their 4K camera. And then we have Sharp from the Next Web announcing an Aquos Beyond 4K TV. Are we talking 5K? No, 42 million more pixels than standard 4K. And then down at the bottom, a CNET story about a shootout between a 720p plasma and a 4K LED LCD, and guess which one won? Tape is not dead yet. Sony and IBM came out with a 185 terabyte cassette. And there's room for higher frame rates than we were talking about. We were at Breakfast Roundtable this morning about 120 FPS. This is a 4.4 trillion frame per second camera. You can actually watch light moving. Finally, you may have seen this story recently. Samsung has TVs with voice commands. You have to be careful what you say in front of your TV. because they will send what you say to third parties. And you thought that your mobile Wi-Fi was concerning yesterday. Okay, I seem to have made it, and we have a little time for questions. Anyone have any questions?
So Mark, the question of the millennials watching their phones and TVs, how do they define television? Is it a TV set?
Yeah, TV set in that case. The going away from the smartphone after 5 minutes, that was not TV. That was smartphone versus tablets versus laptops. And when it got beyond 5 minutes, everybody went to the larger screen.